Actually, when we talk about agriculture residue burn, that's a mammoth issue. When we pointed out or when we flagged it in 2012, at the time, that's very limited. Limited in Indo-Gangetic plain, especially Punjab, Haryana. But now down the line, if we talk about 22 or 23, it's everywhere in India. And agricultural residue is very, very voluminous. We are talking about something 500 million tons per year when you talk about it. And it's in Asian countries, we are the biggest producer. When we see this problem, it is not limited to neighboring state. You can't see simply between Punjab and Haryana and Delhi. It's like that. We have to, I think we discussed this earlier also. We talked Indo-Gangetic plain. So it is happening somewhere in Pakistan too. Starting from the city which is affected, you can say from the Lahore to all our cities up to Calcutta and even Dhaka. Actually, we are talking about Indo-Gangetic plain. The burning happens, no doubt about it. Why it happens? Because somewhere we shifted from the manual harvesting to mechanical. When our agriculture mechanized, the production increased. Now we have the very limited windows between one crop to another crop. You can say simply we become all over the year our fields are growing something or other. And the same time, the labor is not available. So you mechanized it. When you are harvesting it manually, your agricultural residue is very less. Because the man harvesting, it's almost cutting just near to ground. So what we are leaving in the field is very less. But with the mechanized harvesters, what we are doing, we are just taking the upper useful part. And with the different varieties, like in Punjab, they say somewhere where the basmati is grown, that's very the residue which they are leaving, it's silicon rich. So they can't use it as a fodder. Okay. That's one issue. The second issue, the volume is increased suddenly. And the third issue, which is a little bit administrative in nature, because when we going for the paddy, it's a water, it's require much water. So in the process, what they are doing, they are pumping up groundwater, and slowly the groundwater level is going down. So there is an administrative decision is taken that you can put the paddy only after the rains. Okay. Due to that, the sowing is starting somewhere in the July or August. So harvesting period is delayed. And that harvesting period is coinciding with one of the worst period in this Indo-Gangetic plain when the weather is changing. You are getting the wind from the Punjab side to down. So because Delhi is getting affected and the media is sitting here. So there's a big publicity. And of course, Delhi is your capital and highest population density is there. So it is alarming thing.
Much more impactful.
Much more impactful, and its visibility is very high. Right. So immediately everyone starts reporting. But the problem is the same all over Indo-Gangetic. So due to that late harvesting, that became an issue. That's the reason. The people ask generally, it happens since generation, they are burning. It may be
between late harvesting and the next sowing season.
That's another part.
Okay.
When you're harvesting late, you are burning by the time the meteorological condition change, which is not favorable to you.
Okay.
Which is not favorable for dispersion of the pollutant.
Okay.
So it is accumulating. The other thing what you said, delayed harvesting reduce the window also. You need immediately, the farmer says they have hardly 20 days window to put the
Stubble.
next crop.
Yeah.
And before they want the
fields to be clear. Yeah.
So the different type of management system also. Okay? The in situ management, rotavator, and then the mechanical plowing and different things came. And then with that they came with the different enzymes and fungus which they are spraying on the agriculture residue burning to decompose it. And I think it's very debatable, highly debatable subject, where different scientists claims different success rate. And because Indo-Gangetic plain is the big area. So something which is successful in Haryana or Punjab, it may not be successful in the West Bengal. So it happens. So you can't generalize these things all over India. You put the same enzyme capsule or the fungus capsule and everything will be decomposed everywhere. No. You have to modify, you have to customize it. That's not happening. Maybe researchers take some time, they get the projects, they have to evaluate, they have to standardize the methods. It may take some time, it will come out. And other thing is the crop rotation. They generally say is this a paddy is not it's a crop which is generally grown in Punjab and Haryana. It's a recent development. So we have to go for that crops which is usually grown there before wheat. Because what is happening?
Wheat used to be the main.
Wheat is the main. They used to grow the cotton in some area.
Yeah.
So from there we shifted to
sunflower, mustard.
So mustard, of course, is still there. Haryana area, they're used. So it's a cash rich. You get the basmati and that rice there. So you shift it.
When did this shift to paddy happen? Because
It
Punjab was known as the breadbasket of the country.
Of course.
And so from wheat, how this shifted happened?
They shifted somewhere late 80s.
80s, okay. That was a government intervention or is it market forces?
Market forces will be. Market forces. Basmati, of course, we provided different hybrid varieties. Mm-hmm. And because it's a cash rich.
Yes.
So everyone opted for it.
You mentioned about a handful of solutions which were there. Maybe you could individually look into why, what were used and why it didn't take or give the kind of result expected. And number two, a legislation has been talked about, is being discussed in some quarters when this problem was raging some years back about this harvesting time having to be readjusted. Your thoughts on these two?
Look, when we say the readjustment of that's the easiest thing. But when we say about the readjusting of the time, once again we are depleting the water resources we don't have. And when the water level goes down, your water becomes saline. I think better is we have to move to other crops. That's I think feasible option. Otherwise, then we have to go for the scientific burning. So, but when I say scientific burning, all over the world the burning happens. I'm not telling it's something peculiar for India.
Means in Western countries also
they do.
They burn.
But They do burning only in the favorable period.
Okay.
Generally what they do, they bale it.
Okay.
Bale it and store it.
In high storage budgets.
Yeah. Then they either burn it in their power stations or they burn it and make the power.
Okay.
Matlab scientific burning happens. There you can control the pollution and at the same time you are getting the resources.
You are actually optimally using this waste for other purposes.
For other purposes.
That kind of coordination has not happened yet.
Not yet happened.
Yeah.
But of course, NTPC was directed to undertake it.
Yeah.
But in some of the plant they started, I think even Dadri they started. But the problem is they actually at that place you are feeding this agricultural residue instead of the pulverized coal. So they have their technical problems, but they can do. But still we are not reached on the optimal side. The reason once again, where to store it? This
But if Western countries with much lesser land could find the space to store it, and we are one of the largest countries, of course, in terms of population only, but state could actually find warehouses for such storage.
But there the problem is, I think landowning in European countries is more for the farmers.
Yeah.
Here we are the small farmers. 1 acre, 2 acre, or 4 acre land is there. And the storage itself is a problem because it's catch fire very easily.
But nowhere in the discussion about solutions could I find any suggestion that state bodies can go and collect this stubble and maybe...
No. They started it.
They started.
In Punjab and Haryana, even they're paying for it.
Okay.
If you are coming with 1 ton of this agricultural residue, how much they pay. But of course, it takes some time to develop, and especially breaking our mental block. My farmer always think, I have only 10 days where I am going to collect, baling it and going to put in the line, standing there and giving into their warehouse. That's all. We have to develop some system where our own government system or the private players collect that waste from his field.
In fact, Delhi's pollution is not his problem at all. For the Punjab farmer, there are many other concerns weighing his mind rather than about smoke reaching Delhi, which is only a problem of last 5-6 years.
Of course, the farmers have other problems, not many problems. Is getting rains on the time or not, his crop is good or not, and where he is going to sell this and store it. In between, we are talking about the pollution in the capital city, because somehow the media and our actions made it's a match between two cities or 2 states.
We made it into a national problem.
Instead of that, if Punjab or anywhere where they are burning, if they are thinking they are not getting affected, it's wrong. So that local agencies, we must inform them. You are also getting affected the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe Patiala people is not getting affected by their own smoke, but from their nearby district, it is getting that. Or they may be getting by the imported Lahore smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What they push to this side, they are getting from the other side.
The other side. Yeah. Because if you are in the downwind, it will go. And I'm not giving a clean chit to Delhi. Delhi is not doing anything. Yeah. No. What we are generating, the agricultural residue is burning is very less. And it's very rare occurrence. But the other pollution, highest density of the cars, industry or anything, what you are generating, it is going to the other person who is under down.
So we have our own contribution to the smog which is in this region.
Yeah, we are contributing. Yeah. That's the reason when comes the air set based management of air pollution. Because when you talk about 1,400 square kilometer of the area, geographically it is nothing, negligible. And still, I think our problem is we all are trying to solve this air pollution problem in cities, in watertight compartment. It's Delhi's problem, it's Haryana's problem, it's UP's problem. Actually, it is not Haryana, Delhi or Punjab's problem. It is that airshed based problem. We have to identify our airshed and we have to manage it. If you want to burn, if experts think the only way to manage this waste is burning, then you collect it and burn when your methodology allows it. When it is getting to more scientifically. You have to tell this 5 days window is there, you burn it.
And harnessing these resources for other purpose like power generation.
Yeah, you have to power generate it or compost it.
Yeah.
Somehow you turn it into useful thing because it's a natural resource.
In fact, you mentioned about composting. In fact, decomposting solutions were also part of the solutions.
Solution.
I think there was some product given by Indian Council for Agriculture Research also. But they were more time consuming than this small window maybe.
Yes, no doubt. If you think I can manage this agricultural residue within 15 days window, it's difficult. You have to collect it. Yes, of course, the enzyme spray which Delhi government promoted, it is effective in some areas, but still there is a debate. Some of the researchers says no, it is not effective, it is limited. And whenever you are going for an innovation, on day one you can't get the optimized thing. You have to wait. So with time, 3, 4, 5 years, you get a solution, you get an enzyme which affects. But then too, the volume of the waste managing in 15 days
is not an easy task.
So then you have to tell them, okay, you have landowning of this much, you collect this in 10% of area or give some technique. So they collect in area and then slowly they process it.
So collection and reutilization as one of the solution. Number 2, changing to other crops.
Yeah.
Going back to wheat maybe.
Maybe any
cotton
crops,
but that will also need some kind of incentivization also.
No doubt.
Yeah. And number 3, this legislation about expanding this, widening this window a little more. But it is only going to be a marginal.
I think crop rotation or change, going for the better crop with the, of course, they need the financial support.
Yes.
Go for it. Otherwise, by simply saying stop it, I don't think it's.
So it should be beyond interstate. Of course, it's an interstate solution, but beyond the role of state governments of these states, maybe the union government should step in with a larger initiative.
Actually, of course, interstate relation is required here.
Yeah.
And what I said, airshed based management. You have to find out where is the airshed. Scientific studies are there, data is available. So you have to earmark. And then make some authority which works. Especially for air pollution, you have to, like the commission you found.
Yeah.
Now you have to make it more effective and more targeted.
In fact, there could be a multidisciplinary agency which has to work on this because it has beyond pollution dimensions. It has even other agricultural residual aspects as well. So a multidisciplinary agency should come in here.
Multidisciplinary with the high powers. You need administrator, you need scientist, you need agricultural scientist, and even the marketing man. How you make this market influence on it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not possible.